Mommy, my voice feels pretty slimed, but it doesn't stop me from saying indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to consider. Where is your energy? Where the energy is? Where is it? I had this whole conversation with my mom just yesterday, talking about her, yeah, essentially, talking about her, right? I asked a bunch of questions. She asked me a bit about my life, what I got going on. I told her, but that happened in the first 3 to 5 minutes of the conversation. And then I switched over to just asking her about her life and what she's been up to, what she's been doing. After she told me about what she's busy with in the physical ways, I asked her about what she's doing when it comes to food, when it comes to the way she is consuming, right? She told me about her intermittent fasting. She told me about how she has been going for extended fasts. Extended as in past when she's used to breaking her intermittent fasting as well. And that her energy has been stable, right? My mom used to deal with low blood sugar and stuff like that, where she would have to eat something, otherwise she'll feel like she's gonna pass out kind of thing. And now she's no longer facing that, right? And I think it's hopeful. Hey, Indigo. It's nice having you here, friend. Sending you love. Right? So she went through that. And now she's no longer going through that. And I had this whole thought. I didn't communicate it in the moment, but I had this whole thought about energy and where all of the energy that we consume goes, right? That we do have the ability to store fat on our bodies and that we can carry that energy with us. That if we intermittent fast, our body is then tasked to take some of that energy from the self, right? And that you have more than enough energy to do that. Just recently, we did a 5-day fast. And after my 5-day fast, it took me no time whatsoever to be back to my normal weight. Technically, even my overweight. Right? Because again, energy, I don't think is necessarily just as simple as calories in, calories out. I think it is technically that simple, right? If you want to get technical about it. If what you want to do is lose weight, you could be very mindful of the amount of energy you put inside yourself, right? However, there seems to be something in my mind, at the very least, that has an extra layer of fascination for where it's all stored. Let me say it in this way. Let me preface what my curiosity is. There's people that claim to be breatharians, right? That all they ever do is breathe air. That's where all of their energy comes from. And I don't know if I believe that, but a part of me would like to believe that there is probably energy out here that goes beyond the conventional, that goes beyond just calories. And I wonder about that sometimes. I wonder how much energy I have. If I could never eat something again, how long could I continue to exist for? Would I continue to exist for 2 weeks? Can I go for a whole month? I don't know. Where our energy is? This morning, it was in the tasty breakfast quesadilla that I just wolfed down. That's energy. Thank you for the happies, London. That's nice of you, friend. Appreciate it. I starved. I have only been up for 20 minutes. Thank you for the star. You new here, Landon? You're new here? Have you been here before, Landon? Tell me. What brings you here? What brings you to the internet? Are you looking for entertainment? Are you looking for wisdom? Are you looking for friends? Are you looking to make some trouble? Some people do. BSF is here, looking to say good morning. BSF, I'm curious about you, friend. I hope you're well. Your good mornings is always appreciated. I hope you know. Breatharianism is Catholicism for people who are too scared to admit they believe in Jesus. They want to be happy, but life has conditioned them to trade suffering in order to get it. Are they suffering? I mean, not getting to eat food or drink some coffee with cream in it sounds pretty suffering to me, I'll say. However, they seem to be pretty stoked about it. They seem pretty stoked. I don't ever think I could be a breatharian. I like how I'm saying it like it's an option. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should breatharian or something. No, they will not believe that paradigm. They won't not believe that paradigm, but they can submit themselves to the religious establishments that they choose. Checks notes. Weirdness instead. Good morning to you, Trust Fall. It's nice having you here as well. What are we talking about, Willis? You are very pretty, I agree. That was not my point. You're too old for this. You see, at least I'm old. At least if I'm pretty, at least I get to be old. I get to be unked. I've seen unks on YouTube Live, like in their 60s, dude, creating slingshot content. I still got my golden years ahead of me. I still got some 30 years. 30 to 40 years of streaming before it's going to be out of touch. Ideally, in the next 30 to 40 years, I find some sort of longevity tech, right? And I stay looking exactly as young as I do right now. I'm actually 75 years old. 75-year-old man. It is going to be pretty funny to one day be 75 years old and not look it. I think it could be funny, right? Have that quality of shock. Maybe I'll be completely grayed out, but I won't be old. Yes. What are we talking about? We're talking about specifically the stream topic for today is where your energy is, right? And it can be extended into this question of like, you know, where do you put your energy? But we also did talk about the fractal that you can technically extract energy from your own body. You don't need to always be eating food, technically. I chose weird. Indigo says, I am new to this channel. What are we doing today? We're just having some chats. That's what we usually do. We show up and we have some conversations. Hey! Talk about people that I like having conversations with. We got Lone Buffalo here with us. Yeah. Right, like I think we're definitely entering an era of humanity where our energy is going to be a big problem. Not problem, solution, yes. We're gonna have to become very aware of the way we use energy. Not only for our own bodies, but for our vehicles, for our data centers, for our everythings, eventually. I remember you from Mother's Day, One Star Rising. I remember you too. Welcome back, friend. If you double tap the screen, you will become more beautiful. It's true. Yes, it's true what Lone Buffalo says. You keep double tapping the screen, and every time you double tap, you're like a little bit more beautiful. I don't know if you can double tap to take the like away. Hey, you just became more beautiful. I saw it. Wow. Yay! Woo! Ahooga! And more beautiful people, just getting more beautifuler. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate that. Lone Buffalo, it's nice having you here, friend. You've been missed the last 2 days. Seriously, I've missed you. I've been looking. And I've not been seeing you. Me and Zhao figured something out yesterday, dude. Protein pudding, chocolate. I don't know if it will work with vanilla. I guess it could. But chocolate protein pudding and banana. Dude. Right? Like, I feel like I was enjoying the protein pudding. Like, this is nice. I can eat this. Right? And I would put like little pieces of muesli or granola and maybe some peanuts in there. And I'd be like, this is nice. Right? But I would still eat low volume. I would still eat like just a little bit of it, like maybe 10 to 15 grams worth of protein. And then I put a banana in there, dude. Oh my goodness. Like the sweetness of the banana and the texture. I think the texture is the big thing for me, and the aftertaste that still comes with like a protein powder. And putting a banana in there made me go sicko mode, made me go completely insanio style on that pudding, dude. It got devastated. Like legit. Oh my goodness. It was, and I had to tell you, I had to be like, yee, get some energy, get some bananas. Unk is apparently 20 years old. Yeah, this shit is bad, not gonna lie, it's ugly. Well, thank you, Vivi, for telling us your 2 cents. Appreciate it. 33 and pretty as can be. I don't think the shirt is ugly. You like the shirt? Thanks. I like this shirt too. It is a nice one. You should sign up for Streamers University. Is that a thing? I guess it would be a thing. I'm not surprised that someone would sell aspiring streamers an education. It's like, well, you freaking kids are clearly not trying to study, you know, science, technology, engineering, or math. So we might as well let them study streaming. I remember watching you on Arpan. Good energy then, good energy now. Nice to see you. Yes, from me, dog. That makes me incredibly happy. I hope you're still here. Yes, from me, dog. Seeing me in the Arpan days. It's true what he says. I used to be an Arpan exclusively, technically. Was it exclusive? At least my lives were, right? Then I started streaming on YouTube as well. And then they took Arpan from me too early. Taking Arpan from us. Arpan was one of my favorite places on the internet. I was spending way more time during that time of my life actually engaging with the Arpan streamers, right? Because I loved watching their streams as well. It was so organic. It really felt like you could just like open little windows into people's lives. I feel, in a way, the new YouTube has a little bit of that quality to it as well. But a lot of the spaces feels like it's been affected by like hive mind mentalities, or maybe hive mind mentalities is not the right word. Uh, like algorithm thinking, right? Like they're creating content to try and elicit the type of response from the people that look. And I don't know, it just feels too curated to me. It feels like everybody is trying to curate their own little thing, trying to get their own little niche going. And maybe I'm doing it too. You know, I wouldn't put it past myself. Yes, Rami dog. I love seeing old Arpan friends here. What was your username in the old Arpan days? If you can tell me, maybe I can remember you from back in the day. Energy is massless, matterless light. I don't know. I don't know, One Star Rising. I have energy in my body, right? And it has mass. And it is matter, you know, in the form of fat. What I'm curious about, and maybe you can, you know, share your perspective on that. Is it possible for us as human beings to extract energy from the massless or the matterless? Can I get energy from outside of my system? Right? I think so. I'd like to think so. I've seen things, heard things, and then suddenly gained energy. Like, ooh, that is exciting. I can do something. I want to see that. Right? Sometimes, somehow, like there's a get up and go. Right? The energy of there's cute bunnies outside the window suddenly begets me wanting to get up and look at them. And the energy that they output is technically massless and matterless light. However, is it just me? Am I just extracting the energy from myself? Or is there actual energy being given to my body from the outside? You know, I don't know. I don't know. Part of me would like to believe, the hippie in me wants to believe that I can get energy from outside, right? I would like to meditate on a rock and not eat food for a year and just like, yes, consciousness. I'm extracting energy from the universe. But I don't know if I can do that. I don't think that's true. Are you a pretty buffalo? Oh, I've been busy, brother. By 5:30 p.m. today, I will have to work 26 hours without sleep. Dude, that's where the Red Bull and Pop Tarts come in. Checks out. I hope you are getting some rest at least in between. Taking a deep breath of relaxation for you. Massless, matterless light colliding with each other creates mass and matter. It's called the Bright Wheeler process, and it happens because of the Higgs field. Yeah, that moment when in quantum mechanics, you know. Yeah, yeah. Light being a particle and a wave at the same time is definitely one of those, right? Because I don't think you can extract any energy from the particle. No, you can. Our current solar technology extracts light from the particles, essentially, right? Like as that particle hits and knocks free an electron, that electron can then go through the conduit to make electricity. Can you make something out of the waves? There's like a bunch of light particles flying into my eyeballs ceaselessly as I'm looking out there. But am I absorbing the waves thereof, or am I absorbing the particles thereof? Right? Again, I'm not necessarily talking about the complexities, one star rising, of energy. I'm talking about the humanity that is behind the way we process our energy. Dude, blending the wild berries was a mistake. It made berry soup. I thought that. I thought that could probably be the thing. Yeah, we didn't blend the banana. You do the banana whole as well. And I think maybe like a little bit of blueberries and a banana with that protein pudding would work. But don't blend it. For the love of God. Damn, God, it's a speed soldier. I hope you can get some rest here soon. The Higgs field is the foundation of our universe. Without it, we don't exist. Yeah. Yeah. The Higgs field. Higgs and bosons, right? I don't really know. TBH, I can't see there. I'm too big. I'm way too big. I can't see down there where all of the quantum soup happens, right? Because again, we have come to the mathematical conclusions that the Higgs field is a thing. But what is below that again, right? Like it's just like systems upon systems upon systems that arise. I don't think we can understand what goes beyond the Planck length. Our sensors, our light, the very material kind of like existence that we find ourselves within do not interact on that level at all anymore, right? There is no solid body here. There's just this collection, if you will, of atoms holding themselves against the barrier that is reality. I would love to be able to walk through walls, maybe if I can figure out how to tune my energy to be porous, I can start walking through walls and stuff. I would love that. I think it would be horrifying. Just imagine someone walking into your house, you know, through your through your walls. And it's like, hey, we've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. I'm writing a novel and I'm just curious. What is a kind of book that you really like or that you want to see but haven't? Uh, a novel? You said novel, right? So I'm gonna have to keep it story based. Uh, I feel like suddenly I'm being market researched. Hmm. Is there something that I want to read but haven't? I don't read much novels, to be completely honest. I've never really been a novel reader. I really can't even think of something that I want to read. Hmm. You know what? I have a story for you to write. If you wanna write a story about a hopeful future, right? Write a story about AI, about robotics, about gene editing, about quantum computers, about blockchain technology in a hopeful sense, right? I think that's a task. All right, that's a hard one. Write about a future where all of these technologies start symbiosing in a good way, right? Our quantum computers are used to boost our collective intelligence. Our collective intelligence is used to boost our economic global wealth. The economic global wealth is used to manufacture robots that have AGI capabilities, the ability to do generally anything. That general intelligence is applied through the use of blockchain technology to facilitate proper commerce and value exchange between themselves and between human beings. Gene editing is used to improve the lives, cure diseases, make our food more resilient to impending climate change, right? And then write a story from one of those people's perspectives, right? Maybe write a story about a kid that's born into a world where that's already the case, where most problems have been solved, where it's literally utopia. And then how that kid has to figure out who he is or who she is or who they are in a world where everything is already done, right? That all there is left to do is to be the self. There you go. Have book premise. Have for you. Oh, we just discussed this yesterday. Cannibals versus zombies. That is also a good one. Yes, two good ideas. Get on it, bro. Are you a spiritual narcissist? Absolutely. Yes. I've never heard that. I've never heard that sentence, but I think I could be. Probably, Wade. I think I probably could be, right? Narcissism looks like a sense of grandiose, right? Like I believe myself to be very wonderful, infallible. I don't really think I am, to be completely honest. Like as I start checking myself, uh, spiritual, I guess I could say I would consider myself spiritual, but narcissism is one of those that I've really like sat with a lot in my life, where every single time the topic of narcissism comes up, I do spend some time to really consider: Am I? Am I a narcissist? And then if you kind of like bring up, the textbook definition of what a narcissist is, like I think I do have some of those qualities, right? I think all of us probably have some of those qualities. However, at the same time, I don't believe myself to know necessarily any better. All I know is what works for me, right? And I can share from a place of hopefulness that I could help you what works for me. However, people rarely take me up on my advice, right? However, every single time they do, there does seem to be growth that comes from it. So it's this weird dichotomy of I would like to, help steer in the direction of, wellness. Because again, I think that there's an inextricable link between your physical wellness and your spiritual wellness. All right. Maybe there's a lesson to be learned in not being physically well. Maybe your spirit can learn from that too. However, I don't really think myself to be any better than anyone else in that capacity because I know that we're all spirits experiencing the world, right? That depending on what physical experience you're having, you're getting to have a very unique spiritual experience alongside it as well, Wayne. And every single one of us are worthy, worthy of getting to learn, right? my previous thing about like a kid that's born into a world where everything is already taken care of, right? They literally live in a world, they're born as a body that's been genetically modified, right? Their body is literally genetically modified to be resistant to all diseases, to be resistant to uh, basically entropy, right? Entropy resistant body. They don't age the same way. They don't. They if they fall and scrape their leg, they heal in hours instead of days or weeks, right? Like they literally are, by all equivalents, a super being, right? Still, that super being will be fighting spiritual battles, right? That's going to be the only battle left to fight at the end. And I think we are supposed to be fighting alongside each other for the most part. Burping on live, yeah, Barack. At least you know I'm a human being. You know, no AI is here. I was trying to discuss if a human eating zombie flesh was a cannibal or not, because they aren't human as we know them. No, I think a human eating zombie flesh is what we would consider gross or disgusting, because it probably would be rotten. All right, we don't want that. Nope. Or if they are, because they're zombies, they're technically human still. Mm, I'm thinking, I'm thinking about it. I don't want to think about it. I'm like putting myself in the world and there's zombies running around. Yes. And then I'm eating the zombies. Would people judge me? Somebody is judging me. Somebody is gonna judge. Meat eaters or flesh eating zombies. There you go. Wayne Pierce. It seems like you also seem to be very balanced in your approach. Hey, co-creators. Hey, hoopty hoops. Welcome, Mr. Tooth. It's nice having you here. I'm eating gochujang mac and cheese that I made yesterday. It's fire. I use shells, so it's like homemade spicy Velveeta. It does sound nice. Good. I'm happy that you're treating yourself to some good stuff. Meltmore, I guarantee myself 100% that you are a Turk. I can tell by the accent. Yeah, congratulations. You have successfully identified incorrectly. It's almost like you literally have all of the information available to you. If you click on my channel, you'll see that I've been doing these live streams for thousands upon almost thousands of days. All right, thousands upon 900s of days. All right, and you'll see, if you're curious enough, that I came from a place that is not Turkije. Ik is niet van Turkije af, nee. The only reason why I'm peeved about it is because my best friend is Bulgarian, and he really doesn't like the Turks. The Turks enslaved his people back in the day. I think it's like a lighthearted dislike, but don't you dare! Oh, don't you dare! Hey, what are we talking about? We're talking about energy and where it all comes from, essentially. That's like the gist of it. Yay, yes, from me, dog. Still here. He says, it was the same on Arpan. I found usually just go on music sites and encourage people by saying it's gonna be a yes from me, dog. And people would get so excited, like they finally got approved. Really good to see you. That's wholesome. Yes from me. Thank you for joining us here too, dude. I still do these live streams every day. I haven't stopped. I have not stopped every day since the RPAN days, since the very start of the RPAN days. We do daily live streams. It's cool of you to remember me. I look forward to meeting more and more of the RPAN friends in this space. To what? I'm extracting energy from this gochujang mac and cheese, y'all. Sam extracted energy from, is it a quesadilla, a burrito? Something wrapped. Yo, what are we talking? Love again. Photosynthesis, Melt. Photosynthesis. I would like to photosynthesize. Photosympathize. I would like to. Yes. Look at the sun and be like, no. I had a quesadilla for breakfast this morning. There it is. Good dinner, breakfast vibes. Melt, that's being a plant. Melt is a plant. Melt, if you could be a plant, what plant would you be? Yes. What plant would I be? Two came to mind as I thought about it. One of the plants would be a type of vine where I would just climb the side of a building or something, make it look all lively. And the other that I thought about was like a big tree, all right, big thickum tree, right, like a thick tree, strong, yes, very strong looking tree. Oh yeah, specifically one that's like in a meadow, right? Then it's like grass fields, and then like one big tree that everybody wants to go sit under to get away from the direct sunlight. Yes, 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 yes. Would I be other plants? For some reason, banana trees is coming up in my mind as well. Lamau, Red Bull, and Pop Tarts. I know what plant Rose would be. I feel like Mel would be a cactus. I don't mind that actually. Why don't I think of cactus? I do come from Africa. If I had to pick a plant to be in the world that I kind of like existed in before, yeah, maybe that's why I would go for tree and vines, because in this world, tree and vines have a pretty easy surviving. However, where I'm from, being a cactus probably would be the best bet. Cactus, cacti don't live that long, relatively speaking. Some of them do. Some of the species are like really old, but yeah, I don't know if I would be a cactus, dude. Apparently, plants are small little cells, right? Like little mini organisms. The actual plant, the plant that you see is just the infrastructure that it lives in, right? It builds itself a little home so it can continue existing. If I were a plant, I would be a frog, maybe a palm tree. So far, my favorite has been Peromia, serpent, for a Chinese money plant. That's nice. What was the other crappy streaming platform after our plan? YouNow. Yay. I think so, Mojo. I think I tried YouNow, like maybe one time or something. It was not it. It was definitely not it. Mm, do you what now, Mojo? The Higgs boson particle. It is the only quark we cannot detect directly. We can only see that it's holding all the other quarks together. Many physicists call it the God particle. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Thank you for giving me that context again, Dan. I remember I learned something like that at some point. Like Higgs boson? Why am I thinking about Higgs boson? Yeah, God particle. I know what plant Rose would be. Nice try, cheeseburger plants. Cheeseburger plants aren't a thing. The beast jerkers. Then go look at the Chinese money plant. They look like stupid air lily pad coins in the best way possible. They are what I need in my life. I have one that I take care of now. That's cute. They are in Jimmy Buffett's world. Imagine a tub of pimento juice. I unironically now know what pimento cheese is like because we had some for the first time, like for Mother's Day. Just imagining a tub of pimento cheese walking through your walls and trying to contact you about your extended warranty, dude. And to go, I look like the McDonald's pancakes from the 90s if they were plants instead of pancakes. They are also nicknamed pancake plants, now that I think of it. Good morning, Brittany. It's already wild in chat. I don't know what I expected. Why did I expect it to not be wild in chat? Energy. Yes, energy will manifest in this space. It always does. It's nice having you here, Brittany, with us. They look just like, the Mickey D's ones. That's the legit meal. 3 pancakes, a sausage patty, and a hash brown. I think I need more sleep now. Thank you for your input and advice. I really appreciate it. I subscribe, by the way. Have a wonderful day, you amazing human beings. That's nice. Trustful. I hope you get some good rest. I appreciate you for joining us in this space. He lags behind chat sometimes. You know how it be, Lone Buffalo. There's only so much that I can do. I am human being reading chat as it comes. Right? Like I'm very far behind still, but I'm not too far behind. I see Gavity Goo in chat. So now I'm extra excited to get read. Melt, after dealing with actual textbook narcissism, not therapy TikTok speak, I don't question it. I have seen the true harm and avoidance that narcissists do. It is very, very extreme. Yeah, it is true what you say. Is it Joe who like said that thing about like internet diagnosis or like TikTok psychology, where everybody has now these terms, right? These psychology terms in their vocabulary. And then they're just like throwing it out there, nilly willy, even if they don't really know what it means. True narcissism is the full embrace of those traits and a rejection of love. For example, I enjoy getting thoughtful gifts from people. My sister openly mocks that kind of thing. She like hates seeing genuine love and connection. I think that's the root of narcissism. They're repulsed by genuine expressions of love, and that's the metric that you should use on yourself, Mel. Yeah, that I at least don't have any problems on. But I definitely can see how it's possible, right? It's like the extreme of jealousy in that way can be like a repulsion. Isn't the rejection of love? Again, maybe the like jealousy to the point of repulsion, right, from that love, or at least like belief that you are the only one worthy of it, so you don't want to see it expressed anywhere else, kind of thing. Hey, I've seen you bring this up multiple times now in attempt to attach this label to yourself. This label does not belong to you, especially medically. Yeah, I don't try to attach it to myself, Indigo. It's like I'm holding it up in the mirror for myself to look at. But like, am I narcissistic? Because I am worried, of course, right? Especially in the modern world, all of us have a lot of projection. One of my plants are getting dry. If you do get classified as a narcissist, right? And even if that happens, it's not like that energy can really attach itself to you indefinitely. I'd like to believe that there's room for us to grow out of these things as well. There is therapy, right? You can go to therapy for narcissism too. So there must be some sort of hope for people. However, it is something that I try to be very mindful of, right? I don't want to be out of touch, Indigo. So I'd rather really put myself in the shoes of someone that has to consider. Lamau, a yawn emoji, man buff. No alternate perspective offered, just a yawn emoji. What? Why? Why? Come on, Dan. Lone Buffalo. Like we can disagree with each other and still be courteous, right? But like, nah, I don't think that. Actually, I think this instead. Right, Gobs? Good morning to you. Good morning, MeltMore. It's nice having you here, Gobs. Sending you love. Uh, why start shit? Why not just leave me be? I haven't said a word to you. I think it's probably because like reaction, right? Sometimes we can get like a real reaction. It's like I almost think about it like school, right? Like in school, one of the worst things that you can do is show the other kids that there's something that touches you, right? Like if you lose your mind extra when they say something. For instance, right, I am diagnosed dyslexic, right? And I am on the functional side of autism. So I feel like at least I didn't get the short end of the stick there. However, in my school, kids would make jokes about autistic and dyslexic kids. They would say stuff like, shama shama, don't be so dyslexic or something like that, all right, as an insult. And then I had to like really contain myself in moments like that because as soon as I in one of my classes made the comment like, hey, stop making fun of that kid. I'm dyslexic as well, right? Dyslexic doesn't make you stupid. All right. They were like, oh, suddenly the observer changed. Suddenly I became a target for attack too. Would you just kiss and get it over with? Yes. Yes, I agree, Gabs. They should. Whatever, y'all. Just taking a step back then. I show up. I show up for everyone. Right? I show up for everyone. Consistency is a strength. That is, Cat. Yes. And I consistently show up for every single day and you. I got banana energy in my mouth, right? The fact that you say shit like that, Bob, speaks to you operating in bad faith. I think Lone Buffalo is probably just sleep deprived at this point as well. Right? I always try to understand where you friends are coming from because I do believe, I really do. Maybe I'm wrong to believe this, but I really do believe every single one of you are good people. Right? I do think that. I believe it. I believe you're good people. But it is hard, right? When there's so much going on in the world, so much affecting us from finances to food choices to the amount of sleep we have to something that was said to us by someone else in passing that is carried with us in our minds, right? Like an unwanted guest. So I will continue to show up for you friends, all of you friends, right? Banning people is like for me the last case scenario. It's not something that I jump to. And I've seen good. That's the other part of it as well. I've seen good in both Dan and Lone Buffalo in their ability and their willingness to uh, share in this space. All right. But I think there can be this perspective, right, that is formed like, oh, this person is like this. And then we've labeled them and we are very unwilling to let go of those labels sometimes. Big Thick Tree was my nickname in high school. Hey, Combat Journey. I'm not gonna ban someone I'm actually in conflict with because I have integrity. I want to give you the opportunity to treat me with respect. Mm. Yeah, I wonder how trees experience the passage of time. I've been thinking about that as well, actually. At soundbomb.com. Talking about the pudding. I'm like so far behind at this point as well. Like I'm gonna ground myself. You wanna ground yourself with me? Let's take a couple of deep breaths and be present in this space. Right? Realize that even though there is a chat section and there is a me sitting in here with you, that really all we need to do is breathe. There's nothing else to do. But Melt, I have all of these tasks. Yeah, believe you me, all of these tasks can only be done once you breathe first, right? Nothing will get done if you've stopped breathing completely. Mm. I like the redwoods. I was thinking redwood as well, actually. I would like to go and see the redwood forests myself at some point. Like when we talked about the whole what tree do I want to be, I did imagine a redwood for a second. Want to know the difference between a guy who drives a BMW and a cactus? Learn to handle someone disagreeing with you. What is it, Melt? A little bit of everything all the time. Should not upset you this much. Yeah, if you're nothing to do with disagreement, Disrespectful. Yeah, I think Lone Buffalo, I mean, came into this space with a little bit of trolling energy as well, right? And again, we could see that as disrespect, but I do believe that respect is something that's earned. It's like something that I had a hard time with as a kid because adults don't like you telling them that respect is earned. I'm not just gonna respect you because you're older than me. That's not how this works. All right. You have to earn the respect of me, right? I have to admire you. I have to look up to you. I have to see you as someone wise and knowledgeable and kind in your expression of your wisdoms and knowledges, right? For me to find respect. And I think that there's room for us in this space to grow in that way, right? Develop a respect for one another. But it does go both ways, right? It does go both ways. It's very easy for us to get mad, especially if we've been disrespected in the past. I sure know. No Buffalo, Buff, you are being rude. Take a day off and come back when you're ready to not repackage shit. Yeah. Again, the stream topic that we did yesterday, Lone Buffalo, and maybe if you'd be willing to, if you're still here, if you'd be willing to go and check it out, was about how we need to show up for every day anew, right? Realizing that every single day might as well be a brand new day, right? Might as well be so brand new that it has never been before. That even though you have this complex set of memories about the linear timeline that you have lived up until this moment, it could be hallucination. It could be programmed into your brain, into your pre code that's running your current code, right? And if we're going to show up in this world just based on what we've been, how we've been presented to ourselves in the past, then we limit ourselves from a lot of experience going into the future. And I would like to believe that there is space in all of us to find some calm in these moments, right? To not let it shake us, to not let it, get under our skin, to be lighthearted with it and keep our minds, up high, not let ourselves be dragged down to the rough parts of it. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. I'm having flashbacks to a rude, disrespectful chatter from back in the day. Some flashbacks are being had. I think it's also a part of this space, Goo, right? Where it's almost like it's my job to be a presence despite these differences, right? I have shared with few friends that I grew up in a house where my mom and dad would fight a lot, right? They were never violent, thank goodness, but they were loud. They would scream at each other. And I, from a very young age, from like the age of 8, had to be the one that steps in, right? That has to like call to awareness, hey, what is it we're actually fighting about? Right? Fighting about a shirt on the floor, right? Is that what we're fighting about? Fighting about disrespect, yeah. Right? Because when you fight about disrespect, there only begets more disrespect, right? Because then you're almost like forced to drive your heels in, and when you're forced to drive your heels in like that, it only begets more spirals. I don't want to fight any of you friends. I don't want to make any of you friends out to be wrong or any of you out to be right. But I think it's very clear that none of us want to be dismissed, right? And I think that's the disrespect that I feel from Dan's side this morning, is to have your comments dismissed, right? To make it seem, even if it's unintentionally, that that person doesn't know what they're talking about, all right? And again, maybe none of us know what we're talking about, especially when it comes to something that's been again so psychologized, like narcissism. Like people have been talking about that stuff for so long that it's very hard to share something without it being up for a great amount of interpretation because there are clear definitions about what narcissism is. And if you're going to be pedantic, like I can be sometimes, you get very stuck in the clarity and you sometimes lose the nuance in the process. No, understand it. Underhand shit. I know every time. Learn from Buffalo. And don't try that shit with me. We consciously co create. That's the point, at the least, hoopty hoops, is to remain conscious, right? As soon as we find ourselves becoming unconscious, that's where we get to draw ourselves back again, right? Take a big breath. Realize that that's always an option, all right? Before reacting, just take one big breath. And if you still feel reactive, take another big breath. And then you keep taking big breaths until you feel, you know what? I'm fine. Everything's fine. Oh, howdy, Toofy. Hope you're well, dear friend. Strong Coffee Thursday. Hey, Charia. It is. I'm having my coffee right now. Hey, bro. Hey, Fatima. It's nice having you here. Unfortunately, a very, very high percentage of narcissists do not recognize. So you don't have it. Or receive therapy. I wish they did. I think that would have helped a lot in my life and the lives of others a lot as well. It is true. I think one of the traits of being a narcissist is the unwillingness to consider yourself one, right? The narcissist kind of shows up from the perspective of narcissism like, nope, not me. I couldn't be. Narcissist's bad, and I'm just good always. I'll let everyone know. I hear Melt speaking about allowing thinking and now going in comparative behavior analysis. Sure, we're doing some of that hoopty hoops. Today's stream topic was about where we put our energy or where our energy is, all right? And I feel like, again, sometimes it seems like these lessons come to the stream in a way that's almost fated, predestined, right? That we're supposed to learn, we're supposed to consciously evolve from this experience. And there is a little bit of evolution to be had through comparison, right? That is technically how evolution happens, is comparing different models of existence. And then the model of existence that facilitates the continuation of that existence is the one that ends up winning out at the end, right? It's not a comparative like a judgment, right, of one or the other, but a comparison like which is going to be the most successful, right, in the realm, no, the arena, arena of mind. Sharia, when I was a kid, my family would call the weak coffee brown. Like it was so weak and nothing tasting that it was just water that has been colored by brief contact with the ground. It's pretty funny. When you talk about strong coffee, do you mean you say you're having brown every day of the week? Man, I understand what you're saying, Melt. All things considered, I don't come into this space to have my patience tested, and I don't feel bad for sticking up for myself. And I wouldn't want you to feel like I'm trying to make you feel bad for sticking up for yourself, right? I think that's important as well. I just think it's one of those things where some things are better let go, right? Realizing that you can stick up for yourself by not letting something in, like the narcissism thing, right? I would be not sticking up for myself if I came to the conclusion, right, reasoned myself into believing I'm a narcissist. That would be the opposite of sticking up for myself, kind of thing. And I think there is definitely room for us to make these mistakes and come back again, right? I don't think, at least in this space, at least for me, that there is such a thing as a final experience. Like there's no final to this. I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. And in that way, there is a certain awareness that has at least arisen in my mind that nothing is final. right? If things are bad right now, this too shall pass. If things are good right now, this too shall pass, right? Remain present. Try to appreciate where it is you are. Realize that the quality that is your existence is not something anyone can take away, right? That other people's disrespect isn't something that makes you any less. I mean, just think about the amount of chatters that I get in the space, Dan. You friends ban a lot of them, right? I get disrespected every single day, every single day, right? Like very few times though I don't get some sort of disrespect, get called gay, have someone say something about my hair or my clothing, or get called vapid or stupid or spiritually narcissistic or manana, fucking endless lists. So many endless lists of just disrespect doesn't stop me from showing up. Right? I could stick up for myself, if you will, and never show up again. Be like, you know what? Fuck the internet. I'm not going to stand. I'm not going to stick around for that anymore. But that wouldn't change anything, right? And if anything, the people that were disrespectful get what they want, right? Which to the person that I am is like, absolutely not. I knew, knew you will not be getting what you want, dear troll. I was called a retard for being ADHD, autistic, and dyslexic in third grade. My teacher would put me in the back of the class and wouldn't let the kids talk to me. My parents got that teacher fired. Good. Good that she lost her job. You see, like doing more harm to a child that already has, like, if a child has dyslexia and ADHD and autism, right? That means this person needs a little bit more attention, not less. I'd be happy to have a meeting of the minds with Buff, but he's very clearly not interested in that. He wants to poke the bear instead. I'm not gonna make nice with somebody who is instigating. I think the reason he's poking bear, right, is because he's like, again, he's a buffalo in his own mind, right? And like a buffalo would maybe like bump a bear, they can like chase each other around a little bit. I think he just derives pleasure from the back and forth, even if there is a little bit of brawn, right? Bullishness, and in a bad way. It can come from it too. That one damn time your mother's personality actually worked for her instead of against her, Indigo. Right then, one is failing here. We adults, I'm not gonna try to tell you, I'll give you a strategy for dealing with bullies. It just won't occur. It just wouldn't occur to me. A strategy for dealing with bullies. My strategy has been continuing, right? Be like, oh yeah? Anyway. This whole thing wouldn't have gone completely different if the comment read, I don't agree, Dan. Then shared his perspective on narcissism instead. And I agree with you on that much, Dan. I do agree, right? I feel like, again, it could be a fractal of like limited perspective to be able to be shared in the text kind of like platform. Maybe me being so far behind changes the dynamic as well, where maybe people are less likely to engage in a way that is a little bit more explanatory because they feel like it won't be read in a timely manner. But it is still read by you friends, right? So I don't think that should be an excuse. Then it's okay. We all saw what happened. It's over. Got your back. Don't worry about defending yourself. If I'm here, when he gets inappropriate, it will be gone. Just like the others. Yeah, we do keep this space maintained, right? And again, we have invited many of the friends that were trolls back into this space. Like I'm thinking about Nexum. Nexum came into this space calling me a cornball, in so many ways. Cornball was his favorite one, right? I'm so corny. I'm a cornball, right? For something like 3 weeks, that was the only thing he said, right? And then, despite the fact that he did get his messages removed at some points, right? Something changed. There was a aha moment that came, like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to engage in this way. And that's the room. That's the room that we have in this space. It's like we always have room to engage differently and see how the ways that we engage with the world changes the way the world engages with us. Right. And that's what conscious evolution is. I think that is literally what all of us will have to do, right, to get to a point where we actually evolve as a species. It's the only thing I think we can do. When getting people fired, there's also two principles too. I get you, Sam, but I don't like these two narrative. There's a clear instigator. I hear you. I'm not trying to make any of you, feel like you're unloved. I think that's the big thing for me as well. It's like I can't help but see that both of you are me, right? And I love both of you as I would myself. And I wouldn't want me to be denied access to a space. However, I have done things in my life that makes me not fun to engage with, right? And I have learned from those experiences in a way where I try to be better going forward. I'm sitting in the bank of the work lake on the dirt with bugs crawling on me, breathing. Gobbledygoo, that sounds beautiful. I don't know about the whole bug crawling on you part, but the breathing next to the lake. I got to go. I'll try to come back. Indigo will be here for you. Yes, there is. There's a difference between debating a person and saying, nope, you're wrong, and standing back with a shitting, eating grin on your face. Agreed. Clearly, the space doesn't actually have a problem with trolls. The mod team is full of them. Yours truly included. What we take issue with is disruptions. Agreed. Goes both ways, just like my sexuality. Nice, Gobs. Officially, I've suspected that you're bi, Gobs, this whole time. I think I've known that you're bi, but I think now I'm sure that you're bi. Right? Boom. Yeah, Gobbledygoo loves all. We can all learn a little bit from Gobs. We love you, bro. That's exactly what leaves me on edge. What is clearly disrespect is being reframed as trolling. I'm not trying to reframe anything. I'm trying to understand what's happening. I'll keep saying that, right? Because again, I don't have infinite perspective, right? And then I see things like this happening and I try to understand what can I do in the future to try and steer the space, right? What can I say to create an environment where that's not something that happens, right? Where disrespect is not perpetuated. And if I see it from a perspective of trolling, the way that I do with some of the stuff that happens in my channel, right? The best way that I found to engage with it is to not let it get under my skin. So even if it's disrespect, right? We don't have to reframe it as trolling. We can just bring it all the way back to the disrespect, right? Disrespect is something that I have dealt with a lot in my life. And it is one of those things that's the most infuriating, right? Makes me want to feel like I'm losing my mind, start screaming at the top of my lungs kind of experience. However, I found that every time I react that way to disrespect, it just gives the person disrespecting me even more fuel to disrespect me with, right? It's like this, becomes this flywheel of disrespect. Disrespect goes harder. And the only way to make sure that it doesn't happen is to pretend that it doesn't exist, right? Or to pretend, or to play stupid. Be like, huh? Huh? You're what now? I'm gonna say that again. That's one of that I like to do actually. That's one of my best, right? Is when someone is disrespectful, ask them to repeat it. Ask them to explain what they meant, right? Just kind of like show up with curiosity. And the more you do that, usually those people's way of engaging, the disrespect falls apart because they start getting awkward about it. People saying, no, you're wrong, then not offering an opinion in return is disruption. That's why he got removed. He did, doubled down on it, and then started getting belligerent. I won't allow it. I used to get disrespectful. I used to get disrespected by a mod in the space almost daily, and it made me avoid participating. I'm going back to work. Gobbledygoo. Yeah. That's one of the hard things as well, right? Because it's this weird dichotomy of I appreciate you friends as mods in this space, but I'm sure that the trolls probably appreciate not being removed too, right? And if I had no moderation in this space, right, I don't know if the potential for disrespect would go away. But I know the potential to do something about it would fall solely on me, right? And I think again, by the time that I get to the point where it got too far, it went so far that even if I then made the executive decision to remove, the person that went too far, the too far has already went, right? As Gab said, he's already been hurt or been pushed away from the space, from participating. And that's literally the worst case scenario, at least for the work that I'm trying to do, in being here with you friends. The real issue is that intent is what matters. Sometimes people aren't trying to be disrespectful, but we judge them by unseen harm. Everybody is narcissistic. It's just to what level. And narcissism comes in many different ways. You could be narcissistic about specific things, but not others. It's a big spectrum. And if you really want to learn about, to go to school and get a degree until then, quit pretending to be a doctor. That's what I say, not to anyone particular. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, like we've had moments of combat journey in this space, right? Where there was combativeness, let's say, right? And that combativeness did shape our space in a certain way. And our willingness to sit with Combat Journey, talk back and forth, really like share the perspective that we're trying to build here has shaped in a way, right? The way that Combat Journey engages in this space as well. It's not saying that he needs to completely change who he is, right? But just change the way that he expresses, right? Puts the self out there into the world. And I think I agree with you, right? If you want to be really knowledgeable about narcissism and diagnosing, then, and that's something that really brings your soul to life, right? Go and study it. Go and become a professional. However, if it's just something that like you saw on TikTok, right? It's now a new buzzword. You saw a list of traits, and now you're looking at everybody through that list of traits, then you're doing more harm than good. All right. And I think that's where maybe the perspective comes from as well. Sure, Combat, Buff was disrespecting in chat the other day on the cardio thing. He was offered an opportunity to show humility and then doubled and tripled down. He did the same shit today. No excuses at all. I've been clearly and intentionally ignoring this guy, and it wasn't respecting that. I ignore every single one of his comments directed at me till today. I think that's maybe a part of the point as well, right? Like, and we had like a moment that day with the cardio, like where there was already messages sent, like, "Hey, why aren't you replying?" Right? Huh? You must be scared or something, right? So there does seem to be energy. There seems to be unresolved energy, right? Maybe there's something going on in the mental, the cosmic realms, right? That just happens to reflect onto this space like a shadow, right? What is casting that shadow, right? What is the problem? Is there a problem, right? I don't understand. I really don't understand where some of the resistance is coming from, right? Might be even a jealousy thing, maybe, right? I don't know. I wish I did. One day I will. I'll put all the chips in my brains. I'll run the entire internet as a database. Yes, I'll have supercomputer intelligence that helps me analyze every situation. But right now, I'm just little old me trying to figure it out. I know I'm not a narcissist because I know everything and I'm very handsome and a genius. So I would not. Can I inherit the farm yet? Nope. I don't even know if I'm gonna inherit the farm, dude. Right? Literally. I don't know that I get to, you know, I don't know if it will be in the family. Like there's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time. I would like for it to stay in the family because that space is very special to me, and I would like to, build it up, make it a home that I would want to return to, kind of thing. But it's not up for me to say, Mr. Bumpy Pickle. There's a breaking point where I have to defend my boundaries. And Melt, there's a difference between a one-time troll dissing you in chat and someone showing up every day to try and fuck with me. I've had people like that too, Dan. Right? Again, I agree completely that there does seem to be a little bit of a directedness towards you. I've seen that myself as well. But that does sometimes happen to me as well, right? I'm the one that gets most of it directed towards because I'm the host of the space, right? And there are people that show up every day, or at least have shown up for days on end, right? Bringing the same behavior. And yeah, I wish there was a way for there to be a little bit more like permeable layers where I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like maybe you friends can tell me, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to ignore all of this stuff? Just pretend it's not happening? Is that going to be better? Like seriously, I'm asking, like from a community perspective, all of you friends, what would you rather have, right? That when moments like this occur, that I just pretend that it didn't happen and just move on, skip over the comments? Or do you appreciate me addressing it in this way, where I try to create nuance, try to create perspective that we can grow with, right? I am seriously asking you friends, let me know. Here we go. Everybody, the gold standard troll, Bumpy Pickle. Damn, dude, it's good to see it. Love is true. Until we make the subconscious conscious, it directs our lives, our attachments, judgments, and conclusions feel like necessity when they might sometimes be conditioning or a learned response. In every moment, we have a chance to show up anew and break these patterns. Allow yourself grace always as we move through this journey together. That's beautiful, Jean. I couldn't agree more. I resent how the focus becomes my reaction to disrespect, and I'm not going to tolerate it. My reaction to disrespect is the issue as opposed to the disrespect itself. Totally unacceptable. Is that what you're hearing from me, Dan? Like I've said now, maybe I can say it clearly. I and all of us are on your side, right? That's why you're still in chat with us right now, and the friend who was being disrespectful isn't. That's the truth of this situation, right? That's the love is true of this moment. Now, having established that ground truth, the conversation we've been having is how can we ensure in the future we don't have these spirals occur? And the only way, the only thing in our control is our reactions. That's the only thing that we can control, right? So we're having a conversation about that. Maybe I'm making comparisons that do not land for you. Every single experience is different. Every single experience is different. I have experienced a lot of disrespect in my life as well, right? And maintaining the divine, unshakable aura. That is the words that Joe, I feel, has been teaching me. Maintaining the divine, unshakable aura. Literally not being shaken, being unshakable by stuff like that. That is what I want for us. Not saying that you're wrong for not having it, but saying that I want that for us, for all of us, for myself, and for you included, right? That is where we want to get at. That's the conscious direction we want to evolve within. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong or you should have done it differently. Just envisioning what the future could look like in this space for us. I don't prefer the term bi, as it implies a 50-50 preference. I'm here to say that women are way sexier than men. Gobbledygoo. And it's true. It is very true. Women do have a lot going for them. Yeah, 100%. And thank you for correcting me. Thank you for correcting me too. Love is true, I'll say. Good morning, Joe. I personally think Melt being 10 minutes behind and adding to the energy is anchoring us to the energy. I agree. Something I mentioned earlier, Joe. Melt, you seem like you are telling people what to. Okay, Hoopy. Message retracted. Yeah, all right. I am asking. I am asking. I literally asked, and I'll ask again. What do you friends think I should do in these moments? Should I just ignore it, move on, pretend it didn't happen? I am asking. I really want to know. Yeah, man. If you act confused and stuff like that when people disrespect you, it definitely works. That's how Joe Biden won his election. That's hilarious. Combat journey. Me and Joe was singing Bo Burnham's "How's the best case scenario?" Joe Biden. They're really gonna make me vote for Joe Biden this morning as well. That's hilarious. Darren is here with us. Where's the energy today? Your ego is the shadow that you can't live without. Yeah, we do need ego, right? Ego is the thing, is the face of our experience, to say it in so many ways. Very, very willing to shape our experiences happening as well. Yeah, Joe, y'all have each other. Okay. You all have friends, family in your immediate experience to feel safe in. I do not. I am totally solo, and I came here to get that safety. And I don't feel any shame for reacting to that shit being threatened by someone acting in bad faith. And if you don't understand that, then call Sam and ask her about that, because I am done explaining or justifying myself. None of us wanted you to then. I hope you know that, friend. Right? We are, not were even, we are on your side. That's why you're here with us. That's why we're having this conversation. Right? If we didn't care about you, if we didn't care about the space, there would be more ignoring happening, right? But that's not the case. That's not the truth of what's happening right now. Yogi's on the scene with questions. My grandpappy used to work on the farm in 1878. I deserve the farm. EFF. I think Melt is the one showing up for days, bringing the same behavior. Not wrong, breaking, or a dream tooth. I do try and show up with the same behavior, that is a calm presence that shares a perspective, right? And my perspective today was about energy. And I feel again, today's stream topic has been influenced by energy that goes beyond just food. And I feel like that was my fascination for today. I was like, we are influenced by energy that seems to be beyond just the calories we eat. What is that? Why is that? How is that? And then we saw in this space a very beautiful unfolding of how energies can influence things, influence us, influence our minds and our spirits. I've seen you show up in the same way as well, Dreamtooth, right? Showing up for days, bringing the same behavior too. I don't think I have tried to call you out on it in any way just yet, at least. Don't make excuses for people acting in bad faith. Call it out for what it is. Stop pussyfooting around it and being neutral. Then all I can do by myself and tell you that I'm here to be your friend. All instances are unique and nuanced. Comparison is a tool, and if we use it, I want to use it to build and not deconstruct. I'm not asking you to defend, justify, or anything like that. I'm asking to be kind to those who are being kind. That's all. Yeah. Like, we still have people that are kind to you in this space, right? And instead of getting fixated, uh, what's the opposite of pussyfooting? Penis footing. Instead of penis footing on this situation, we can love those who are here with us in this space. Oh, To those who trigger us, that gives us an opportunity to learn how to navigate the challenges with grace. This is about conscious evolution, and you're doing fine. Exactly. What do you, friends, think I should do in this moment? The instigator needs to be uncovered and removed for the day. Then we all have to take a breath and move on. Continuing to hash these beats out haven't been dealt with and incongruent to love is true. Love holds no record of wrongs, and neither should we. That's my opinion. I agree completely, Sam. I think that's a beautiful sentiment, and that's exactly what happened. No one questioned it. You're definitely gonna have thick skin. If you wanna be on the internet, I've learned to just ignore people. Say what you wanna say and then move on. I'm here to talk to certain people anyway, not to chat. Yeah, this space is about this connection, right? For the most part. I think it definitely does. Like, this has happened many times, right? This is not a new occurrence. This is not new to me. This has happened hundreds of times at this point, where there is almost like decoherence, as Sam said, an incongruency with love is true that sometimes occurs. And again, I am trying to be neutral. I am. I am trying to be as neutral as I can be, right? I stand up for my friends. And again, I feel like it would be different if we again had the person in the space, right? Because then it can be addressed, right? There can be there can be context shared, right? And it's as you said as well, like maybe it would be easier if we were all in the same space. I don't know what people are going through, right? That's the thing for me still. It's like why, right? Like I agree that it's wrong. I agree that we shouldn't be dismissing our friends just outright because of something they said. But why is that person doing that? Why are they showing up that way? And that's the thing that I want to understand, right? I don't know if it will make me a better person, but I think at the very least it will make me more compassionate, empathetic, and understanding of what it is that shapes people's experience. Maybe I can get better at helping instead of echoing the sentiment. Do you remember me, Ripple guy? You're the guy who asked me if you should buy Ripple. Is that right? Let me see. hmm You have sent a lot. You have been in the space quite a bit, Snorclips. I'm happy to have you here again, friend. Your messages has been loving for the most part, right? Like none of your comments have gotten banned, Snore. So I'll take that as love is true kind of thing. Thank you for joining us again and sharing in this space with us. Joe said, exactly. We can't control what others say. That's how the world is. All we can control is how we react to it. Not take it or make it personal. Direct the focus and energy that we have. That's all we can do. Melt, teach us a breathing exercise. Not a bad idea. Let me see Darren's message. Melt, how are you doing with this translation, this transition? Almost 150 days or something like that already. You treading water good. Keep your head high like you do. You help a lot of us. Jeez. Now I want to cry, dude. I'm gonna cry. Sucking the fucking tears back. Yeah, and they thought those freaking tears thought they could leak out. But no. Love is true. Thank you, Darren. I'm doing well. I am treading water pretty well. I'm keeping my head up. I still have hope for this process as it unfolds. Well, to think it's been 150 days. Any topic today? Today's topic is energy. Snore clip. We've been talking about energy and how there seems to be more than just the food we eat directing our behavior, right? The fuck? There keeps. Is it coming off of this thing? I keep finding. Yeah, here it is. This is the culprit. Man, microplastics. Ugh, ugh, microplastics. Energy. Yes. Today we're talking about energy and how easily your energy can be influenced. Right. You just saw it happen live. I see small little black spots on my hand, and I'm like, what is that? And why do I keep wiping it off with my hands? And then I keep looking at my hands, and there's more stuff on my hands. And then in that, I learn. I learn that things can influence me. Noodle is licking the couch. Energy influencing me. Stop doing that. Where is your energy? That's the topic. And we've been given a great example today. Oh, yeah. Very much so. My family was driven to the mountains when we saw a sign that said falling rocks. We looked up but couldn't see who was throwing. Barty Clay, thank you for your joke of the day. It's nice having you here. To Darren, again, I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I'm starting to see my future in this space, Darren. Make a future in this space. Right. And it sums positive. You know, the net good that's coming out of this space seems to be the fact that I'm growing a lot. I feel like I'm growing more. I have grown more in the last 150 days than I've been expected to grow in the 500 before it. Right. So much growth. Learning how to be way more in control. Defensiveness is the lesson that I've learned the most of all, right? Defensiveness, if you show up from a place of defensiveness, you instantly make it a me versus you thing, right? And I think that maybe that's why I'm being neutral as well, is because defensiveness is not something that I have been willing to perpetuate, right? I don't want to make it a me versus you or a them versus us perspective, because it's not about that. It's about us versus the problem that we seem to be facing. And I feel like that's what I've been trying to do in today's stream as well. But it's going to be rough to feel like your side is not being taken. So I'm trying to learn from that perspective too. Maybe we can do a little bit of a breathwork exercise. If you have the time or the space to sit down, take a moment with me, we should take some mindful breaths. Make your body comfortable. Place yourself in a way where there's no strain. And then begin to evacuate your lungs completely. Hold the bottom. And then take a deep breath through your nose. Hold the top. Bring into your minds an intention. What is it you're doing this breathwork exercise for? I would like this breath to be for the awareness that is required for us to be calm. And then return to a natural breathing rhythm, still extending at the top and the bottom. Imagine what calm looks like to you. Think about it as a matter of not being quick to anger, not being easily disturbed, finding ourselves stable. Hello, Zoe. Are you being a good girl? You're definitely not screaming at the top of your lungs. That's good. That's good. It's almost like you've been trained. It's almost like you've been trained. You've been trained to be a good girl. Come on. You want to go bye-bye, baby? Come on. You're too far off. You should get closer. There you go. Hello. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. You want to come and say hi to the friends? There they be. There they be, baby. Can I give you some scritchums? Oh, it's a sweetie bird. Oh, sweetie bird, yes. Oh, giving him some head scritchums. Oh, sorry, too much? Can I give you some scritchum like these? Oh, it's a sweetie bird, yes. Oh, what a good girl. Hello. You a good girl, baby? You want to go somewhere? What? Where do you want to go? Thank you for the kiss. Whoa! Whoa! What happened? Oh, you got your tail. You got your tail swashy swashy. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's my bad. I'll take you bye-bye in a second, okay? Oh, hello. Hi. You are a good girl. Thank you, baby. Want to go bye-bye? Yeah? You want to go outside? Yeah. Let's go bye-bye. Hello. You want to go outside? I don't know how long I want to leave you outside for. I'm hoping that there won't be any bugs out here. Looks pretty bug-free. Looks pretty bug-free. Here you go, baby. Oh. Sweet. Whenever we drive through the Ozarks, we're always on the lookout for that shit exactly. There are signs, but they don't really embellish how terrifying it is to watch a rock smash into the road. Oh, yeah. I was thinking that, actually. I'm going to bring Zoe into the sunroom so that he doesn't have to be cut by buggies. Hey, baby. Come on. Step up. I'm going to bring your perch inside. I'm going to bring your perch inside. I'm going to bring your perch. Yeah. I'm going to bring your perch. I'm going to bring your perch. There we go. There you go. There you go, baby. Yeah. There you go, good girl. Let me get my secondary device. Nice. Sweet. Energy never comes from nothing or ceases into nothing, not only by physics aspects, but also emotion and the motions that you do. I agree, Snorklip. I agree completely. We're powerful beings, Joe says. Our capacity to feel what we feel, our capacity to feel what we feel shows us how powerful we are. We can harness that energy and transduce it into something new. Transforming energy, even. I was watering the lawn the other day, and I always whistle at the birds. One of them was on the sidewalk, jumping around, having a hoot, whistling back. It put me in a really good place. Darren, right? Something so simple. The energy of a birdie echoing your whistling sentiments makes me happy to share that moment with you, even if it's in mind like this. That's such a sweet image. Yeah, Jo knows as well. She does like her burbies. Such a sweet image. The energy we take in is ours to recycle into something of our choosing. The subconscious convinces us our life is circumstantial, making the subconscious conscious as awareness to our capabilities. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. How's that for a quote? Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. Mm, yes, it's true. It's true. Hmm. Trying to think about what I need to make myself conscious of in this moment. Maybe maybe the way I go about things, especially so conversations that are loaded with dualistic perspective. Thinking about my mom and how she also likes to come to me to talk about the things that she's struggling with, going through, stuff that's making her angry. And how I always do share in the same way. I always try to stay neutral. I always try to stay neutral. But I don't know if that's appreciated. I am learning what the best way to be is. Inky seems like the best listener. Inky? I don't know if I know Inky. Or you're talking about his cat? Is his cat named Inky, right? Gay. Wow, David. You're the very first person to ever call me gay, dude. Congratulations. You win a prize. Here you go. It's the stupid hat. I just put it on your head for you. You get to wear the stupid hat everywhere you go. And everywhere you go, everybody will know you're stupid. Boom. Get wrecked. Mm. Boom. Get boomed though. Let me go and get my bird. He's been quiet, but let me make sure he's not terrorizing or something. Hey, bird. You happy out here? You want to stay? Or you want to go bye-bye? Come on. You want to get a cookie? Yeah, that's the cue he needs. Like, yeah, I'd like a cookie. I'd like some. I'd like some cookie. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get you one, baby. Mm-hmm. Does that look good? Does that look good? Mm-hmm. Oh, I dropped one of your almonds. How dare I? How dare I? You want to say bye-bye to the friends? Thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. Don't be gross. If you're thirsty, help yourself to some water. Exactly. It's probably the heat wave show. Might be. Give me a big kiss. Mwah. Thank you, baby. You say bye-bye? Bye. That's a good girl. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna get you cookies. These are both for you. These are both for you. Here you go. And some more down there for you. Alrighty. We have reached the end, I think, of today's stream. It's probably the heat wave. That's pretty funny. Okay. I think it's time for us to pull a card. Jeez. All right. The energy is hot. Pulling a card sounds better than pulling a dualistic perspective. That's true. I think it's true what you say, Hoops. I think it's very easy for us to look at things through the lens of duality. We are human beings, after all, living in a dual world. However, the thing that unifies us all is the fact that we are. Consciousness does not discriminate. So, why do we? Right? Why do we discriminate if consciousness does not? We. It's now time for us to pull a card. You let me know when to stop. Why do we discriminate for sport? Not a bad answer, Sam. It's pretty sport. Stop. Stop it, chat. Combat journeys let me know as well. Part of me wishes that I kept pulling. Tetrahedron. A card of action. A platonic solid. Yeah. Because we're scared or something like that. Good answer as well. We pulled one of the platonic solids. Oh my goodness. What was I really hyping on today? Where I was like, all I'm trying to do is what? Understanding. All I was trying to do is understand why. Why is it that this is the energy that we are participating in? Why? How did we get here? Understanding and action. Yeah, just a chill day, them. And here you are listening. Right? So clearly it must be working. All of this flamboyance or something. The tetrahedron, with its four equal triangular faces, is one of the five three-dimensional shapes commonly called the Platonic solids. The simplest of these solids, the tetrahedron, is associated with the masculine aspect and the element of fire. It is a symbol of action and understanding. This is the fire of ambition and the understanding of what it will take to bring ideas and projects to fruition. Is there a mission you have been considering or a decision you have been putting off? Now is the time to seek greater understanding and assurance that the path you have embarked upon is, in fact, in your best interest. Now is the time to take action and initiate movement towards the promotion of ideas and the completion of creative projects. If you are already actively engaged in this process, this card affirms your decision to act and supports the inspiration and passion that directs you upon this path. Understand that the evolution of your vision will take energy and focus. There it is. The word energy, getting some more synchronicity with today's stream topic. Again, understand that the evolution of your vision will take energy and focus. Remember to listen to your inner guidance and make certain that your actions are not mere smoke and flame, but are intentional movement towards your highest good. The downward facing tetrahedron is water. And I did pull it upside down, I'm pretty sure. Passive and the feminine. It is a time of safe passage and rest. No action is indicated. I don't have to understand. I have to rest. Rest into the knowing that this space is sacred. That nothing can take that away. Nothing. Literally nothing. Yes. Thank you. Just a chill person. Your insight has been invaluable. You must be so wise and knowledgeable, and I look forward to learning a lot more from you going forward. Maybe not today, but someday. Did I fix the card? I wasn't even here. I'm using text to talk to text. It's okay. We got you. Platonic Solids was my nickname in high school. I had a lot of nicknames. Do you watch Rhett and Link Combat Journeys? I think I've asked you this before, but you know, Link. No, Red. Red's the one who keeps making the nickname in high school jokes, and I always find them funny too. Melt, not sure how to try what you already are. I'm thinking I'm not confused, but should I be? No, I don't think you should be confused. Today's stream topic was about energy, right? And where it is you put it, where it is you put yours. And I feel like, again, we've had like a really interesting example about where energy can be placed, right? How you are influenced by more than just the energy that's in the food that you eat. And I think that's interesting. I think it's cool to remember this. Nay, humans aren't scared. They've just evolved whipping as an art form, and they can't keep it to themselves. Very good at whipping themselves first, right? No, yeah, that's what you think. Maybe just ask him what he thinks next time instead of projection. Yeah, grow some people skills. I think I'm choosing peace. Just chill. You get to go to the Shadow Realms. Yeah, there you go. Right. Like, and again, if I told you that I am married, to a woman and that I like having respectful relationships with her, right? I don't think that makes a difference to you thinking me gay or not. I think I'm just like attractive in a certain way, right? And I dress unconventionally. So you come to conclusions, right? That again says more about you than it does about me. I hope that you do come out of the closet at some point and that you find yourself loved on the other side of it. Good mythical morning. Oh, yeah, big time. There we go. Love is true. OG coming through. Hey, Kid D. Don't forget to breathe if that's what you mean. There you go. It's a good piece of advice to remind ourselves of always. Don't forget to breathe today, friends. Just like that, just like that. You see that? You read some bullshit and then you breathe. You're like, just like that. I always breathe manually. You must be a dolphin, Kid D. I heard they always breathe manually too. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me. We pulled the card. We have shown up and cultivated energy. Kid Dolphin. I love the other Joe. Joe is always clever with the words. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me. I like the running joke about Link not being able to use knives. That kills me every time. I haven't watched in a while. I should actually go and check them out again. I always do love their stuff, even though it is formulaic. Them as a group, their personality types, that friendship is beautiful to see unfold. OGs do things the manual way. Yep. I'm gonna be manually bolusing my food through my body, to process it. Kidolphin. Kidolphin. I want to see your username change to that, Kid. Tomorrow you'll be Kidolphin instead. It's kind of cool name, oh. It's kind of cool. You can work with that though. Kidolphin. OG Kidolphin. That sounds fucking cool. Kind of, I don't know why, but it kind of makes me think of Adolf a little bit. I shouldn't say the other one. A little bit of Adolf. Kidolf. I think it's Adolf. All right. I'm gonna say goodbye. No Meltmore. I am Locke. Forgets to breathe. Dies. Please don't. Forget to breathe today, friends. And please remember to take big breaths every time you find yourself in a state of like heightened energy, like, and be like, hey, whoa, let me breathe for a second. Okay, yeah, that's better. I love you, friends. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Cheers.